Yep. Thanks for coming through. This is another episode of A Different Day with Jah on 101.3 Row FM. I got to shout out some of our sponsors because you keep us going. Thank you so much. I want to give a shout out to Premier Baby Shop, Banco Popular, Lorraine Chicken Shack, Via, because you know you can't spell Via without the VI. 1F Louis Hospital, and My Lord Variety Store. My Lord got the Vibes Cartel grabber in stores now. I'll go check them out. All right, so today we have a special guest on. Since she was on the Same Difference podcast, is like we click from then. So I can't say nothing bad about her. It's all love when it's us on. And I think y'all gonna love her too. Can you say hi to the people?
Hi to the people. Jah is my brother from another mother.
Since we linked up on the show, it's been all good vibes, and it's all fun and games every time she's on. So today's topic gonna be a little more serious. It's gonna be a little more serious. However, we're gonna try to keep it light because that's just our personalities. Good afternoon, Adrina. Thanks for coming through. Remember to share the live. You can always tap in with us. Right now, there's no video, but you could tap in with us live on 101.3 Row FM's Facebook live stream, Same Difference live stream, the TuneIn app. You got plenty of ways, and of course, on your radio station. So let's start with some background. On today, we have BB. We're going to call her BB because we're protecting names, faces, places, dates to protect the innocent and the guilty all together. All right. So, BB, you want to tell the people why are you here? You have quite a story, and I posted on the Same Difference page. Can you tell us why you're here?
Man, I am a living Tyler Perry movie, yes?
A living Tyler Perry movie?
There's no man damage at the end, and it's usually a good, Tyler Perry movies are pretty predictable now. It's always the same thing. But what I'm saying is it gets to the point where I usually, when I put my hand into anything in life, I have pride in everything I do. My name goes down on it. So I'm proud of everything I do no matter what. And what happens is when you do good things all the time, when failure hits you, sometimes it is the hardest thing to take, but that's life, such is life. But I've noticed that within so many of my years on this earth, thank God for all these years with a bad or good, I seem to fail at love consistently. Consistently. And finally, about 8 weeks ago, for who's counting, I found my person. And I was on the brink of actually throwing in the towel and settling with whatever.
Well, he came in and swept you off at your feet.
Ladies out there, men out there, anybody, that when you think you're on that last thread, and you're like, you know what, forget this. I want this. It don't exist. It does, and it is true. Sometimes you ain't even looking for it. So that's the motivational little synopsis so far.
Congratulations for finding love. You said that you were unlucky in love. Had you been married before?
Oh, God, yes. I called my mother. She said, don't do it no more. And I said, but Mommy, I might want to be like Elizabeth Taylor, because I think she had like 11 ex-husbands, right? Just kidding. But, I've been, married multiple times. And I think I just didn't want to give up. Did not want to give up.
So,
and I felt like I wouldn't say I was the full issue, because it takes two to tango, but I just felt my problem was I didn't give myself love first.
Would you say that you're one of those romantic types?
Oh, I'm a hopeless romantic. I am completely the one who will go to the store and buy you something just because I know you'd like it. It doesn't have to be a birthday, anniversary, Christmas, nothing. I'm one of those who, I get up from work early, you're home early, let's go down and see the sunset. And I might just pack a little a little basket with some drinks and things. Let's see the sunset together. Let's listen to love music as we're going down, driving down the road too. Like that's me.
All right. So we're gonna get into the story. You're gonna find out why she's here. It's an interesting story, and I think that it's gonna appeal to many. Keep it locked right here on 101.3 Raw FM, a different day with Jah.
That's right.
All right. Greetings. Hail up, Michael. Hail up. Thanks for coming through. Don't forget to share the live. So you said you unlucky in love, right? Now here's my thing that I think. So for me, I feel like love, I think that we're all doomed until we find that one person where it works. Like 99% of your relationships won't work until you find that 1%. What do you think about that then?
I think it all depends on the person too, and how they live their life and the love they give themselves. That's why I said that last part there. If you don't know how to give yourself love, then how are you going to know how to give somebody else that?
True.
It makes sense. Even though there is such thing as people that give that selfless love that are able to just agree and not even compromise, just to make the other person happy, thinking that as long as they're happy, that means they're going to be happy. But at the end of the day, are you happy, and have you gave yourself the love that you're giving up to somebody else? And I feel until some of us understand what it's like to enjoy your own space, get on a plane, enjoy your own company, hang out with yourself, which I have done many times. And as long as you have healed from any other past issue, you can bring it into a new relationship. You will have that caution or that reminder if you see a red flag. But I mean, you're not going to come into this new thing with, oh, you just like so and so, because that means you didn't heal properly and you didn't give yourself love.
Okay. Do you think that being a hopeless romantic, right, in this day and age, where romance ain't really the thing, do you think that being a hopeless romantic in this day and age kind of sets you up to be hurt?
Of course. Of course. I am not going to lie or sugarcoat that at all, because, whew, you know, some people take that for granted. They're like, oh, she's soft. Like, even for a male, if there's some women out there that it's like, if he doesn't like have a strict way about you or whatever, it's like, what's wrong with you? I mean, you know, like, if you go on a date, nowadays, you go on a date, it's almost a given, or you're going to go home together. And I'm not wrong. I am not wrong. It's not like back in the day, you do the courting thing, and or you drop me by my door. Maybe I might get a good night kiss, and then we try a second, third date and thing before. It don't move like that no more. So romance is not on the plate as sex would be.
Romance is not on the plate. I glad you.
Yeah, if you consider love and dating and all this, or relationships as plate, kind of like how we have the pyramid for food. You might not see too much of romance on that plate. Just like how some people don't like their vegetables.
So romance is the vegetables of love.
But let me tell you.
Okay.
So that's just my opinion and what I have gone through, and what I was able to sit back and give myself time to see and look and go, oh my gosh, wow, hey, this is not the day and age of this. What are you going to do? And I think I gave myself this option that it's either I settle with whatever option that might be around, or I might just have to live with the fact that I'm going to just be alone. And that's okay. It was a little saddened, because to me, it's like I want that Bonnie and Clyde, that kind of relationship where you see me, you see you see me. We go on adventures, we still give each other space, but it's like I have that person to go on adventures with. Because just now my nest is going to be empty. I do have children. So it's like, I have some ants that died very much alone. And I saw them literally deteriorate right down to the end. And I said, do I want to do that? Will I feel happy? Were they happy? Those are questions that I have not gotten answered. And I probably will never have to answer. And there are some things that will never have an answer to, but it stirs some questions in your mind when you see that.
Adrina has a question. She asked, how would you know how to receive external love and grace if you haven't been able to give it to yourself?
Can you give me an example of what he really means? I mean, like, what does he mean? That if somebody is being nice to him, or I'm not quite sure. Can you reword the question?
So, Adrina, could you clarify that question? Because she's asking, how would you know how to receive external love and grace if you haven't been able to give it to yourself? So, from what I'm understanding, what she's asking is basically like, how do you, as a person that hasn't quite healed yet, you have not received,
oh, okay.
You know, you may have received love in the past, but you haven't learned how to love yourself and give yourself grace. Because, you know, sometimes we can hold on to past mistakes and what we've done and putting in. So I think that's what she's asking. If not, please, Adrina, clarify. But did you get it now?
How do you get that love from outside if you have not given it to yourself?
Correct. Yes.
The thing is, what I've actually learned for myself when I was going through my little healing, I have a notebook or a journal or whatever. And I literally wrote down what makes me happy, what takes me up, what could be a comfy comfort, meaning like in between. And then I had another page, and that page would say what I would like my ideal partner in life to be like. And then I'd have on the other side of the page what I think I could be as an ideal partner to somebody else. And just at the end of just scribbling all this down, I could see where, because I'm looking at it and I'm saying, oh my goodness. And you gotta be true with yourself, right? If you know you're annoying with something, you might just pick the nails. You gotta be like real with yourself. But it's just you in your room with your book. So it's not like, just don't let nobody find that book, eh? But the thing is, you look at it and you're like, wow, I gotta change this. You got to be real with yourself. So it's like, if you don't know your pros and your cons about yourself, you probably might not even know that somebody is loving you out there because you haven't even given yourself that kind of attention.
Because you don't know how to recognize it. Yeah.
Yeah. So writing things down for me has helped me. Not that I don't believe in therapy. I sometimes just don't find it comfortable telling somebody what's going on with me, and then you're giving me advice, and I don't know you. We're not friends. We're not close. But so it's like what I write in my book, that is my own therapy to myself. And I do encourage therapy, though. I do talk to somebody every 3 months.
Every 3 months.
And it helps because I might have something heavy that I just need to get off my chest. But when it comes to love and relationships, I honestly don't feel I need to talk to nobody about it, because at the end of the day, it's my choice in love and relationships that's going to get me to where I want to go and where I want to be. And nobody can make up my mind for me on what I want. So the answer to that question would probably be to concentrate and dig a little deeper with yourself, and then you'd be able to know how to get that external love from someone, or to even notice that you're getting it.
That's what's up, because love, for real, it does start with self. Everything starts with self, and then you resonate that outwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of trying to
forget that. Some of us forget that.
But that's how come so many people is looking for peace in others. You know what I'm saying? You find peace in yourself and then you share it.
Yeah.
Adrina says she spoke on it for sure. You have to love yourself, or else it would be hard to interpret the love someone can give. Yeah, because you can't recognize what love looks like.
Right. And what a lot of people don't understand, you don't need to have to be in love with somebody else to recognize what love is.
Mm.
Love has a big definition as a gray area. I wouldn't say love is just black and white. And there's so many different types of love. I love my friend, my best friend. I love my coworkers. I love my parents. There's different levels of love. So for yourself, that's a whole another level altogether. What you would love yourself and for yourself with, you might not do that to somebody that you're in love with.
Gina.
And I did have a deep talk with somebody, and in fact, my fiance know. And what he explained to me was, I don't love you enough. I'm in love with you.
You can be both.
It blew me away. I was like, huh?
You can be both.
There we go. This how you know the difference is, man. You have to have that in-depth. You gotta go a little deeper. You gotta dig. And sometimes you don't even know where to dig. You just have to be deep in a thought. Just take a little meditation and just think, write it down. I love writing at this point. So, yeah.
Some people believe romance and intimacy is a waste of time and placation. Some just see partnership as strategy, and we have to take emotions out of it to be a successful partnership. I don't believe that in matters of the heart, you can take out your feelings out of it. I think that most decisions, you can make decisions with your head and your heart. Sometimes you have to do either or. But to try to take your feelings out of it, especially like when kids are involved and, you know what I'm saying, like years have been put into this thing, it's hard to. The only people that can really hurt you is people that you care about and love. People that you don't care about can't really hurt your feelings because you don't even respect them enough to care about what they got to say. I think that's one of the biggest dangers of love. You're giving a piece of yourself and you're knowingly making yourself vulnerable and opening up yourself to this person to hurt you. And I think that's why a lot of people be so scared and like, I don't want to commit. And you know what I'm saying? That's why the situationship is such a big thing right now. People are scared.
Right. And you also got to think about it too. Commitment is like a job in itself now too. You know, if you think about it, commitment is a baby, and you have to nurture it, and you gotta be careful, and you gotta feed it, and you gotta trust it, and you gotta let it grow. And sometimes commitment could be such a big, for some people it's a hassle because now that means I gotta spend more of my time that I like spending time by myself with somebody else, or now she knows some things or he knows some things about me that I probably won't tell nobody else. The first argument is this person gonna be the one to put it on Facebook or shame me when we in the store? Because you know when some people get mad, they say things that they don't mean.
Facts.
And by that time you're done already spilled the beans about my business.
True. That's true.
You know, so that's why commitment, and especially in these times now, is because nowadays, I mean, look, I ain't gonna lie, them shows on TV with the baddies and the erratic girls and all them kind of things, it's like, this is what the days and ages are acting out on. So it's like, well, the first thing people do is go on Facebook and do a live and talk about somebody instead of going to that person and trying to talk to the issue you got with that person. It's easier nowadays to voice it out and make a drama because that's what is being portrayed out there, that it's okay to do. So to some guys and girls, it might be something that you might not want to go into because now you're like, you know about this person, you know, they're going to get mad at me, or one day, which does happen. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to have them kind of situations. Is this person going to go out there and talk my business? So it's like, you know what, let me just play it cool and just keep it in the situation. So we see each other and let me keep this as a hidden gem. Nobody needs to know about we. That's not their business, and let's keep it like that. Because it's plain safe.
Is that safe though? We gonna get into it. We coming back in about 15 seconds. Adrena says, unpopular opinion, you don't need someone other than the love of yourself and the protection of God. The more you look for that love in other people, the more you can't be grateful for the type of love you do get, and the more meals you find yourself eating alone. We're gonna get into it just now.
Okay.
Yep. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in to a different day with Jah. We got BB here with us. We were talking a little bit on the Facebook live stream. If you don't know what that is, that's affectionately called Row FM Plus, because there you can tap in with us directly. If because right now you can't call in, but you could communicate with us through the app, listen live, see some live interactions and transitions as well. And it's kind of dope. We love the chat. The chat loves us. We appreciate it. So what we were talking about, I want BB to go into this one because this one needs to be talked about. So BB, you were talking about commitment being a second job. Can you explain what you meant by that?
What I meant by that is that, it's something actually you got taken. A lot of people might not look at it as like that. Like, I don't look at it like that right now because I feel I'm prepared.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I'm to the point where I feel because of my age and what I've been through, I am ready to share my life, my world, and open up to somebody. So I'm okay. But for somebody else now who might be single their whole life or just not really take anything serious, and then all of a sudden, wait, I really like this girl, I really like this guy, or happened. And now all of a sudden, I want them more around me, but wait a minute, I was liking my single life. What's gonna happen now? And then let's just say you're spending more time at each other's houses. Some of your stuff is over there by hers, or when you start getting a little bit more serious, slowly but surely the person starts to move in or whatever. Let's just say you do move in together. At this point now, you gotta share your life for this person. That's an extra responsibility. Now you gotta share bills.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're gonna have these extra things that might make arguments because you didn't pay your half of the bill, or you want to spend money, and this person saying you didn't ask me before paying this. So wait a minute, it's my money. You understand what I'm saying? It's another job sometimes to tell people not all, because now it's something extra you got to take on from where you were by yourself. So that's why I feel like sometimes commitment could be something scary for some people due to the fact that it is something extra you got to take on that's not your normal.
Mm-hmm. Now, does that mean that we might be doing it wrong?
Yes.
Because
it could be that we doing it wrong. It could be that you're just ain't ready for it.
In my estimation, if you get into a committed relationship, shouldn't it be easier? You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't it be taking some of life's ills and woes off of you? If you're gonna get into a relationship and add another person, especially if it's to the household, same household, how is it that now you're putting in more work? Or it feel like it's more work than when you were single?
Just like I said it depends on the person and who they pick. And if, let's just say, like right now, I'm okay by myself. I'm feeling even better now that I have somebody that's going to be joining my life.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be a strong couple. I feel like a Beyonce Jay-Z vibe right now. Like that's how I feel. I feel like $1 million. I feel like I'm gonna win a lottery without even having nobody come towards me because of the relationship we've built. We talk all the time. We see each other enough, and it's just come down to the point where I feel on my end commitment is going to be a plus. But I'm just saying on the other side of things, everything does have a pro and con.
Mm-hmm.
There might be two people that can't agree on, well, you make more money, so you need to put out more in the bill, kind of thing. There might be something that interrupts the commitment and makes it difficult. Or that one person want to go out and they're so used to going out, but now this other person stopping them and saying, where are you going? there might be a stifling effect where you were used to just stepping out.
True.
You know, there's a little respect in certain things when you get in a committed relationship, that if you guys don't speak it out and compromise on what's going to change and things, that's where the problems may leave little trails of misjudgment, where you think a commitment ain't for you, but then again, as I said, I feel there's a plus. So yeah, there is a plus for some, but some it isn't that way.
And that's unfortunate. Bless up, Shanice Watts. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. Let's get into your story. Let's see where to start here. So you had sent in, BB, anonymously something to Same Difference podcast, and it was a touching story. You had talked about how you had gotten ghosted. Now, can you tell us?
Oh, God. Yes, I can tell you about that.
Yes. Tell us that story, please.
Let's see. Dated someone.
How long were you dating?
Met pretty quickly, pretty fast. Spoke up enough on the phone to finally meet each other. It was a long distance relationship. Not saying how long and where, but long distance to keep it short and sweet. He visited me here in St. Croix, and then I did the same thing elsewhere. And everything was perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. So let me boil that down. Everything was great. It made sense. There was a lot of compatibility, and it felt safe. After I visited, came back home, I never got a call back. I think we sent a couple texts, and then after that, I think it was a Mother's Day weekend. Never heard from him again. Weeks went by.
How long were you over there? When you visited him, how long were you over there?
A couple days.
Okay, and then when you got back, no answer, no calls, basically, or little communication.
It just went from a couple texts to then nothing at all. Like if he just disappeared off the face of the earth. Okay. And no answer to the calls, no answer to no texts, nothing. So I left it alone. It hurt like beep. It hurt. I was questioning myself. I was like, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? A lot of it was more, I beat up myself because I'm saying, what did I do? I don't think I was right for doing that. I beat myself up, and I should have been saying, his loss. What did he do? And that's where I say sometimes we don't give ourselves enough of love and credit.
You see, I think
I found myself in a very deep, not even a depression, but like a dark feeling, because it's just like, what did I do?
I think that's a very human thing, though. Like, that's something that we as humans do, like, especially with ghosting. When someone ghosts you, you can't help but try to fill in the blanks. And the only person that could give you any answers is yourself. So naturally, you go ahead and like, what did I do wrong? And then you try looking back to the scenes from your perspective, trying to figure out what you did wrong. So I don't think it's crazy. I don't think you should beat yourself up because it's a very human thing to do. But go on, sir.
Right. Well, long story short, a couple months went by. And I guess I had a little too much to drink one night. And I felt, a little bit of the liquid bravery, liquid courage. Let's I asked my daughter, give me your phone. I called. And he answered. And he said, hello? I said his name. Hello, what's this? I said, oh, you forgot my voice. I started laughing because you gotta remember there's a little bit of liquor in there. So I am not quite right. So I'm giving a little joke, I laugh behind it. He said, oh, so you give this little. I said, you ghosted me. Just plain and simple after I told him who it was. Oh, hi. He said, you ghosted me. No, I didn't. What had happened was, and it was like a long story of this crap. Oh, this happened and that happened and lost the number and this and that and the other. And I said, here, let me help you out. And I send you my number. You could do whatever the bleep you want to with it. And you have a good one. And that was it. That's all I wanted to tell you. I think you did cause, well, actually before that I told him you did cause me a lot of pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I did go an extra mile trying to make sure that you was all right by calling certain numbers to see that you were okay. When were you going to check to see if I was all right? So then I just left it alone and said, you can do whatever you want with the number. I put my name in the message because sometimes I could be very sarcastic. And I said, this is BB in case you forget. It's funny. I said, well, sometimes you got to laugh at your own pain and mistakes. Couple weeks after that, he tried calling back. Weeks after that again. It's like week, every couple of weeks. And I think he started to understand that I don't believe in tit for tat, but I started to not answer my phone. I need you to feel what it felt like when I don't answer.
The initial...
And slowly but surely, never heard from him again. But it did leave this dead feeling. Why do you keep trying? Why do you keep trying?
Let me ask you something here. Let me ask you something. So the initial confrontation, when he answered, right? When he answered the phone first, how did you feel? And after the conversation, like when it came to a close, how did you feel?
Oh my God, I was nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I was between a little bit of maybe a little bit of happiness to hear that he was all right. Because it's still at the end of the day, that's where I feel I was being weak, because it's like I didn't go off on him. The first thing I felt was he's okay. And then it was like the anger just came and swallowed that up and went, what? You ghosted me. So it was like a lot of mixed emotions there, but I didn't want to put out such anger where a wall would be built up and he'd hang up on me. I wanted him to actually hear that you did cause me pain.
Did you get actual answers?
But you caused me some pain.
Did you get actual answers? Did you get, did you feel like
not a believable answer? No, not. It was all crap. There was no. I did meet up with somebody that I've known for years who said that this person has an MO of doing that. And I was like, well, what do you get out of doing that? If you don't want to be with the person no more, you don't think things will work out, what I will do is just say, hey, I think it's best to be friends. I don't think it's going to work out. Or like, there's so many different ways of just vocally just saying it ain't going to work. But just to just cut off, don't speak. What do you get out of that? To me, that just shows no growth.
So you don't think there's any reason? You don't think there's any reason that somebody, after having that experience, do you think there's any valid reason why someone should go someone else?
Should there be a valid reason?
Is there any valid reason?
I would say it depends on the situation. Let's just say the situation was this guy pushed himself on me and I was uncomfortable. I lose that number, ghost him. But what I'm saying is, like, if things are good or things are feeling like it's right, why would you ghost that person? Does that mean that who's to say this person probably got afraid of committing and felt, whoa, this is actually going real good? Uh-oh. Nah. I didn't think it would be this good. Let's sweep this underneath the rug. And maybe this is the way they deal with not having to deal with a commitment. And then when they're ready now, I'll call you back in the next 2 weeks, knowing that we had it good, and I might just pull you back in with the hook and line, and then when I'm ready, I'll ghost you again. But it's like, I go keep you from a distance. And maybe that's how some things are. I've seen it.
Adrena says
I've seen it.
they may not know how to communicate while keeping the image they want to maintain. Knowing that you've
True.
met someone, after thinking about it and it's out of your system, knowing that you met someone that they may have not known how to deal with it, the fact that it was going good. Some people do self-sabotage. That's a real thing. Like they've been in
Yes.
such toxic situations and relationships or circumstances in their lives have them so scared of good, because it's usually followed by very bad, up and downs, that they don't know
Yes.
what to do when it's just good. They're waiting for the other shoe to drop. So knowing that, right?
Right.
Did you have any sense of like, I feel sorry for him because he don't know what he could have had, or he missed out, like he fumbled you?
I am going to be so transparent right now, and
Mm-hmm.
I call it my tough BB version of me now. I am not very forgiving at this point of time. Life is too short, and I just feel that I didn't have not a bone in my body that felt sorry for him or that he couldn't deal with it, because if you could do it the first time, you will pretty much, to me, you could do it again.
True.
And I'm not here to, we learn from each other, but I'm not here to be your tutor on how to love me and how to treat me. And I just felt at that moment, I don't want to try again with this person. I wasted enough time as is, and I need to move on. And I became so tough to the point where it was like, I good with me, you could call me if you want. That doesn't mean I'm going to answer or follow through with even trying again with you without me having to tell you, because I just felt I needed for you to feel it a little bit. But yeah, I didn't feel that in my system about feeling sorry. Should I have? I should have. I should have been a little bit more humane, maybe. But then again, I felt that I may have set myself up again to getting hurt again. Because there's always a possibility of that happening again. It's just sometimes like when people cheat. Do you trust that person again? And they do it again? And you keep trusting them again and giving them more chances? Or is it you just leave it alone and keep moving because you can't keep hurting yourself? Because at the end of the day, when you think you're moving on, you're trying again, you're really sometimes hurting yourself and going deeper into a deeper hurt. And it's better at times to just pull back and heal up.
Definitely. Hold on one second, because now they're telling me that apparently it's not playing on the radio. Give me one second. All right. Give me 1 second here. I don't know if anybody is. I don't know if anybody can let me know, but apparently the instrumental been playing for 20 minutes on the radio, even though we've been having this great conversation. So, so they can only hear us on the live, which is.
vibes. Stay away from negativity, especially. Stay away from things that would make you think wrong. I mean, it's like when you walk out the doors of your house, you have to go to work. You're gonna be around that, but learn to take in good and just put the bad to the side kind of lifestyle. And that's what I started doing. And I just got to the point where I made up my mind that if it was ever to happen again, it would happen. I purposely used to leave my ring finger blank, no ring, because I felt that one day somebody will put that ring on my finger. I went to the jewelry store and I put a ring on the finger because I made up my mind it's not going to happen. That's what I told myself, man. Not that in a negative way, you know. I said it in a way where stop digging for it, stop looking for it, leave it alone. So if it's to happen, it's to happen. Put that really pretty little finger with something pretty on it, and let's go about your life. And I just left it alone. I've been on a couple of little dates here and there. Nothing serious. But nothing to hurt me and nothing for me to have questions about. So I went on a little trip to the point where I wasn't looking for nobody. And someone that I've known from since we were school kids age said I will never forget that voice. How are you? And I went, wow. The smile alone was exactly what I think when people say love at first sight.
Yeah.
It did something to me. It did something to me. Like I got that. Hey. I am very born as an alpha female. I walk up to a muscle man and say, "Can I touch your arm?" Okay, cool, thank you. I walk away. Like I have that kind of mindset about me. So when somebody stops me in my tracks, that's what pulled me back and made me say, What just happened? What was that? What was that? Now, if anybody have kids, they understand the movie Hotel Transylvania. They call you Zing. Then I sing.
Okay, you got you like that. Okay.
It was amazing. I cannot explain it. And the smile, it caught me. It really did caught. It caught me. And from that day, I walked up to him and said, "Can we take a selfie?" We talked about things, kids, life. I took a picture, and then it was still bugging me. Like my mind was saying, "Go talk to him some more." And I just walked up to him and I said, "Can I get your number?" He gave me his number, and I told him where I was going to hang out later that evening. I met up with my best friend, and we were hanging out, and all day I'm telling certain friends and family members, I need you to investigate, find out if we have a woman. And you know, it's a spy.
Okay. Is that something that you usually do?
All day this man has been on my mind. You know?
Is that something you usually do? You usually have your friends something investigate a man?
No, I do my own work, boy. I do my own work. I learn the person myself. But I just find myself sitting there and I'm like, why is it that this person can't leave my mind? After that initial thing, it was like, I need to know if they got a girlfriend, if they're separated, if they're married. Because first of all, I am not messing with nobody that have a wife, a girl. If they're involved or it's what they call the situationship, or when they say it's complicated, oh no, I don't want no past. I just no. So my best friend came up to meet me and she's like, "Oh yeah, he's been single for a little bit." I said, "It's on." And that evening we met up and I was not separated from each other. And went places together, talked on the phone, and eventually left. And my last day before I left, the conversation of marriage came up. and it threw me for a loop. It was a surprise, just everything, everything. And I was so happy because usually I'm usually the one that's always saying the I love you first and the I'm always the one initiating. So to know that he initiated that first, it meant a lot. Because what I was thinking, he said. And since then it's been like that. So
all
my
of
advice
this.
is do not give up on that. If you still got a little piece of it in your mind when you feel one day it's gonna happen, it does might because I was not looking. Was not looking at all and it just happened to
all of this in between the situation with the other guy and then him, playing cat and mouse and the ghosting and this new guy and with the proposal. So now you're engaged. What was the time? Can you tell us a time frame in between the two? Do you want to tell us a time frame?
Oh yeah, that was months apart.
Okay.
Months apart. As I tell you, within the months where I got ghosted, I didn't even think about that we could call him Casper. Mm-hmm. I didn't think about Casper. So there was no after a couple of weeks, and I saw I was hurting. I had to pull myself out of that hurt because obviously I am not on your mind. So I need to do something to fix me because we at the end of the day we hurt, and sometimes people do hurt us, but we are the one in control of this car. We're behind the wheel. So, somebody may get you mad, but we're the ones that are in control of staying mad. You understand? So after a couple of weeks, I ain't gonna talk you with your doll. I ain't gonna come looking for you. I ain't gonna pop on. No, I don't do that. So after I saw a couple calls and texts and things, as much as you want to hear from me, talk to me, whatever, I did the same thing. So it's been a minute. Like there's a distance. There's a long distance. So, but by the time I did go on my trip, I did not have in my mind at all. I just wanted to drink, frolic, have fun, see friends, chill out, go on this vacay, recoup myself because I was quite overwhelmed with life, children, work, all them things come into the play. We all need a little vacation rest time. So I gave myself that time. And the last thing on my mind was not tell nobody, which is what I was told a long time ago. Don't go out looking for it. It will find you. And I was like, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Because, fairy tale. Well, the fairy tale came true.
That's what's up. Now, did you, we got about a minute and some change, but did you receive any kind of feedback that was negative? Like, oh, this is too soon, you're rushing, any of that?
I did from my loving who just wanted to let me know, a percentage of guys are no good and blah, 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 blah. But all I can let her know is, she's like, I'm sorry if I sound like a negative Nancy. And I say, you know what, it's okay, because if you didn't love me, you won't just share that with me. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate your opinion. And I know you're looking out for me and you're protective and you don't want to see me get hurt. Mm-hmm. But I think I really have found my person and the one.
That's what's up. And we're glad for both of you. Congratulations. From ghosted to engaged. And I am so upset.
You think that's a key word?
Yeah, from ghosted to engaged. And I'm so upset that I've been playing the instrumental for 20 minutes. I ain't been able to hear this story on Raw FM, man. But yo, go ahead and watch the live. The live gonna be posted after this. We'll be right back on a different day. Keep it locked right here on 101.3 Raw FM, a different day with Jah. Man! Yo! Oh! Yo, I can't believe that, man. I've been playing that instrumental for 20 minutes.
What happened?
Oh!
How you
Hold
do
on.
that?
Because, like, I was seeing the mic thing move, but it wasn't actually playing my voice for whatever reason. And Lima just messaged me that is just the instrumental. Man.
Oh man.
But thank you so much for coming through. It's all on the live though. So everything that we talked about, it is on the Facebook, and I'm gonna pull clips and post it. But yeah, thank you so much for coming through and being so transparent. Of course, we had to leave out names and stuff because we didn't want no drama. But I appreciate
And
you.
then we're small by
For sure. But thank you.
No problem, man. Nice being around you again, man. Always positive.
Okay.
And we'll be each at the end of the month, right?
Yeah, we'll be linking up end of the month, probably before that when I come to the actual studio. All right.
Yeah, but of course, yes, you gotta call me. I definitely come in with my autograph book.
You don't know. All right.
All right.
Peace. Enjoy the sunlight. Yo, chat, why I sing? Yeah, we're still live on Facebook. It just, man, this station thing that be killing me sometimes. It'll be hitting me because I looking at the thing moving, but ain't playing. That blows me down. We can cut share and bring more in for next week. Yeah, and we still got another hour of the show. So please stick around. We still got another hour of the show. But what did y'all think about that? Were you listening? What did you agree with? What do you have to say regarding, her point of view on love and stuff like that? I'm gonna be honest. That romantic thing does set people up for failure all the time. Being a hopeless romantic in a savage area, in a savage era, that gotta be rough. Because I used to write poems and do all these things myself, but that side of me feel like a dead or I need a muse or something. It's rough out here, man. How do y'all deal with it? Are there any hopeless romantics in the chat? I feel like Adrena is a hopeless romantic. She seemed like one of them. Adrena says, I chose my hobby wobby. He doesn't value me the way other people may. I don't foresee that changing based on what he values. Our marriage serves the purpose we need it to serve based on the plan we made together. I don't have to convince him to value me more to be happy and well. Everybody wants to marry their number one fan. That is true. Because I still remember that one girl that wrote me a letter way back in high school saying that she was my number one fan. So. Yes, Shanice, that is messed up. That they didn't hear this. Oh my God. No, we can't hear you. Well, we back. I agree. I'm a hopeful romantic, says Adrena Afri, and I love living in my dreams. I love living in my playlist. So, do you agree, Adrena, that being a hopeless romantic in this day and age is dangerous? And I am also going to be honest here. I don't know if being nice is gonna get you far in this day and age either. I feel like being nice these days gets you hurt for real, for real. Give me 1 second. Be right back, chat. So look who's back with us, man. We got Neci back. Neci's back with us after her nationwide tour. She's blessed us with her visit.
Hello.
Neci, so I don't know if you were listening on the radio, but how about I was just playing the intro for 20 minutes straight, thinking that it's going over the radio.
I was listening to the live when I heard when you said that. I was like, oh.
Man, I need for somebody to listen in at 4:01 or through 4:10. Let me know what's going on. You check like don't I need to know expeditiously because I mean I couldn't listen to both if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And that was a great conversation though. What did you think about it?
I think so. I like her transparency about the whole conversation and I like that how it came out to be a positive ending for her. I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
It gives you hope despite, not being a hopeless romantic doesn't mean that there isn't hope.
Mm-hmm. And same difference is invited to the wedding.
I'm sorry?
Same difference, I said, is invited to the wedding, which means you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We invited to the wedding.
Kudos for that. Is it soon? I need to know to get into my dress. I need some time.
Well, I feel like she gonna have it soon, but it is kind of a rush thing. So we gonna see. We're gonna just keep our ears open and waiting for she to let me know.
Okay.
So what we talking about today, Neci?
Well, you had a very interesting topic wanted to discuss about the undecided or non-voting electorate.
Correct.
Of our community.
Correct. And I can't wait to get into it. So yeah, on this second half of hopefully being on the radio, we're gonna talk about multiple topics, but the main one that I do want to discuss is elections, because we're in an election season, and I'm wondering if people are really ready for this thing. You know what I'm saying? So I wanna pose the question basically, is the phrase like just vote, is that enough anymore? Because I don't think it is.
It's gonna. I mean, this season to me hasn't been, it's normal hype that we usually see around candidates running.
We're back.
I mean, usually
hold on 1 second. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We're coming back. Hey, sorry about that first hour. You are now on the radio, on Facebook live stream, and on the TuneIn app with A Different Day with Jah. And guess who's back?
Neci's back.
Hey, the people's champ is back in the building. And I am super excited. I know you could hear it in my voice.
Yes, you are.
So welcome to the second half of A Different Day with Jah and Neci, the people's champ. We in the building, like I said. And we got a couple topics for you in this second half. But what I really want to touch on is elections. That will be the main topic. Now, we're not telling you who to vote for. We ain't going into who bad, who positive, none of that stuff. We're strictly going to be talking about, I've noticed that there has been a phrase of, just vote. And I do not think that just vote is enough. The reason why I say just vote ain't enough anymore is because as a community, we can make a difference through voting. But the community first needs to decide who is for the community. I don't think there's anything wrong with asking the question, what you gonna do for us? Neci, you were talking in the live before we got back on. Can you tell the people what you were saying, what we were talking about?
So the question you're posing is about our constituents who don't vote or refrain from voting. What I was saying is that this election year, I don't see the normal hype and anticipation that we usually have in the community. Typically, I'm bombarded with signs and messages and so forth of who to vote for and reasons why and so forth. And honestly, that's not happening this year. There's barely signs around. You don't even see the door-to-doors anymore. I'm not seeing any of that. I know there's other means of getting the information across besides door-to-doors, but just the amplified hype around the encouragement to vote, I have not seen that this year.
Do you think there's a reason? Can you touch on a reason? Do you believe there's a reason why that is? You get what I'm saying?
Well, I know for sure campaigning isn't easy, nor is it free. It's costly and so forth. And I don't want to say that the candidates don't have the means to do that. I'm not saying that. But I do know there's other ways of running campaigns and getting the information out to the public. Social media is definitely a larger part of our everyday life. But I'm not even seeing the traffic through that avenue either. So for me, I don't have a specific reason why that's happening, but I can definitely tell that it is happening.
Disha has an idea. She said them people ain't getting money. If I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but to run, and this is just in the Virgin Islands, which I was flabbergasted, is about $100,000. I could be wrong, but I'm sure I heard that you need at least $100,000 to run a great campaign. That could be for governor though, but that's not no small chunk of change. So that may be one of the reasons. I don't know. If anybody knows, get in the chat. Let me know too. But the buzz around it, the hype around it, I think there's an exhaustion. You know what I'm saying? Like every 2 years, the vote comes around. It ain't until the second year that you start seeing people campaigning. But it's like, where were you last year? You get what I'm saying? Like, what have you done in the community since? Even if you left office, what were you should have still been doing some work in the community before you run again. Like, don't start showing up with every pan knock. No, we need to see you. You need to be visible. There's a lack of awareness of who is even running, which says a lot. So with that happening, I think the candidates need to understand if they don't know who you are, especially if this is your first term, they don't know who you are that's running. That's already 10 steps behind. You think that could be one of the reasons?
Yeah, agreed. I could not list sufficient candidates to tell you who all is running in this senatorial race. The norm of who usually are the repeats, that's easy enough for anyone to do. But anyone else, I don't know. I haven't even seen many new platforms for new candidates or anything like that.
Yo, we're gonna take a break to pay some bills. We'll be right back though. Keep it live. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
No, it's okay. I haven't seen any, real new information from new candidates of why to vote for me instead either. So I just think it's a very daunting time for us in the community. And unfortunately, we have someone's going to get in, and 7 people from each district and the one from St. John will be getting into office. So whether there's a hype around it or not, just going to be candidates selected for the next legislature.
And it's a large pool of candidates too. So there's a lot of candidates to keep up with, first of all. So if your stuff ain't out there for real everywhere in their face, they're gonna forget you, man. That's very likely.
Very likely.
Because even promoting events, like you have to keep that promotion in Crucian and VI people face, man. Like you have to constantly promote, or they're gonna forget you get something going on. And I think that probably translates to the lack of exposure for some. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I mean, yeah, some people might not even have campaign managers to run their campaigns for them because, of course, unless some people are volunteering to do those things, everything comes with a cost. And, fundraising is a big way that people usually acquire funds for events, but I don't even see campaign events for fundraising either. So it's a very bleak year this year for the election in terms of how it's being portrayed to my view. I mean, if someone else has a different view, maybe that's I'll be interested to know. But it's very interesting for me this year. I haven't seen this in a very long time.
Shay Bird, aka D Shay, says they should have been doing work before the run. That's where it starts. So we the people can see and say, oh yeah, there was the one doing this and that, instead of telling us a great Shakespeare. I love that term she'd have used, writing a Shakespeare. I love that. Rosa Parks didn't run for office to make change about a situation she was tired of. She got in there and she sat down. Hey, did y'all know that was a stage thing and it was being done like all around that city? It wasn't just Rosa Parks, like it was planned. Did y'all know that?
What was stage?
The Rosa Parks sit-in, it was a part of a planned protest. Like other people were doing it. It wasn't just her.
I've heard.
Which is crazy. And then they really flipping out, the internet really flipping out that Rosa Parks' husband had a car. So that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
DJ said, my girl sit down and said, no, my feet hurt. Being tired has never affected so much change as when that woman sat down in that bus. And they didn't run for office to do that. So DJ, what are you saying? Because I feel like you're going along the line that I'm on, where I feel like the community needs to do for itself. I feel like it's that time where the community need to stop talking and looking for a savior, and they need to get out there and take charge for real. Is that what you're saying? Or did I misread that, DJ? What do you think about what DJ said?
I mean, this is right. I mean, if you look, most of the major political movements that happened in our history was not from actively sitting people in positions. They created ways and avenues in order to make change and be effective with those change, or to force policy in our favor. So it could go one of two ways. Well, I will say that a lot of the candidates, or candidates that are running, I've seen before, they have great ideas in terms of why they're running and so forth. But I don't always feel that the senatorial seat is the best avenue for them to really enforce those changes. Mm-hmm. That seat is for legislation. It's order to make laws for the territory in order to improve our lifestyle. They don't actually get to go out and implement those changes or develop those changes once the laws are passed and make it their baby and create a living, breathing thing out of it. So once the law is passed, it's like, technically your idea is done, but that's not really what you wanted to see come out of it. So I don't always think that's the right avenue, but your only option is either the private sector and being a nonprofit organization to try to implement those changes. And we need more avenues for people to be change agents.
Okay. I agree with you. So let me ask this. As far as the non-voters, do they have a point? Because the ones that are not voting, they're doing it for reasons. And I feel like the reasons get dismissed. I don't think that's a smart thing to do, to just dismiss a group of people that could possibly be voters if you heard what they had to say and then address those things.
I think, whether you vote or not, whatever that reason is your personal choice and your reason for doing it or not doing it. I think if you're an individual that's seeking the office, you're seeking it for a particular reason. You've been on the other side of the coin where you want to join in the fight to be of change. So dismissing the people who don't want to do it is not the right concept, because you know what that's like when you feel like your voice isn't being heard and the change that you would like to see isn't being done. That's why you decided to join this particular fight. So I think we have to be more open-minded to it. Not that everyone's reason will be valid or that their reason will be taken into consideration, but being heard is important.
Right. We can't really do anything unless we listen to each other, and we can't just dismiss it. And that's where we are right now. We've gotten to the point where we dismiss those, and those are people. Those are people in the community. Those are your fellow community members. If you want to build a village, you're going to need those people either on your side or making an effort to do something in the community of use, right? Mm-hmm. So why would you ignore a whole section of your community that is saying, I don't vote because? Why would you just dismiss that and then turn around and you don't have no reasonable responses to why they say they're not voting enough? You ain't saying, all right, let me hear you out. All right, here's why you should. No, the response is just vote. We can't keep doing that. That is not enough. You need to have reasons, actual reasons behind it. Like how in the States, they're talking about just vote because this person is this way, so vote for this person. It like that two-party thing ain't working. And don't tell me to vote for somebody just because we're the same skin color. I need something. Give me something. And I think that's what a lot of people are asking for. They're tired of voting and voting and voting, and then it feels like things are getting worse. DJ says we just need to realize we live on an island where we have to think for ourselves to see a change. DJ says I'm not voting, and that's that. Can you tell us why? So maybe we can address those things, because that's what we're doing. We're here for a conversation. Can you tell us why? I'm not trying to convince you. Keep in mind, we're not here to convince you to vote. You're an adult. You can make choices for yourself. We just would like to know what's the reason, because you have valid reasons for you. You just say about to learn how to fix roads. Get a backhoe and some cement, man. Get a backhoe and some cement and get to work.
Yeah, I just have to deal with a backhoe man. So please, if you're driving backhoe, let me know, please. Thank you.
Oh, because Miss Thing just had a you just had a backhoe man up in your yard, eh? Didn't you?
Woo. Girl, get one, get two. Okay, get two trucks. I'm here for it.
Did you say she gonna try and set you up with a backhoe man, okay?
That's not what I said, though.
Go ahead.
I think as a community too, looking at the bigger picture in terms of voting, I think, the way that our branches are set up, it's not the same as how they're set up stateside. And I think we have our independent setup because, we don't vote for the president. Our senators doesn't actually go to the Senate floor to actually participate with other senators. Only our delegate to Congress actually goes to Congress to be a representative for the people of the territory. Because we're set up uniquely, usually you would keep people under the branch of government, the governor, the mayors, and so forth, the district, this person, so forth, are the people that you turn to for your change in your community. We're not set up in that aspect, so we turn to our senators constantly for support, and they do respond, and they do provide aid when they can. But that's not their primary function of their role. Their role is to go and create, amend, and enact new and revised policies and legislation for our territory to improve our community. They provide legislation. Going to these schools and these things that we ask for them to do is a plus that they do them, but it's not their primary function for their role. Right. And we hold them to this standard for so long that I think we just think it should be. It is part of their role, but it really is not. So when they're running on certain platforms that I know is unrealistic, for me, I already tune you out because I know that's not what your job is even about. So the fact that some of them run on certain premises can be baffling. Instead of giving us more information and giving the community the information to say, hey, I know what you're asking for, but based on the government standard of what a senatorial candidate is, here is our job description of what we can and can't do. Yes, we go above and support our community when our community cries out, and we will be a beacon, a voice, but this is what our job entails. What we do probably need is restructuring, and that's a different conversation.
Yes. Correct. I totally agree. And I didn't know until I actually had watched a political event that West Girl and them had thrown, I think it was a year or two ago. And they explained, one of the panelists explained that how the VI government is structured, it's structured incorrectly. There should be commissioners inserted in certain slots and other officials, but instead we just have a ton of senators. And, the people, I think that we as people are also undereducated as far as politics and how government should work. And I'm including myself in that there. I'm undereducated, and to go on a website and look and just try to learn a person's platform and then do that times 15, that just seems like a lot for an individual. I think we need to look into maybe incorporating some civics courses for adults, some workshops, some tiny bite-sized workshops maybe to educate the masses. If that's what we want, I would hope that we want an educated voting group. You know what I'm saying? A community that votes based off of what they know, and they know what they want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the information is there, and I don't want to misspeak by pointing out a particular entity who should be providing the information, because I don't know if it's specifically that agency. But I know the information, because you have to be running based on a certain standard. So the information has to be there because you have candidates that are running on a standard.
Yes.
So that's already there. The question now is, who should be putting out that information, especially prior to election season, prior to registration, voting, opening up for people to register? Just a reminder, hey, governor requirements are this, the Board of Education requirements are this is what their job is based on, senatorial candidates are this is what their job is based on. To remind people, because every election cycle you have new voters also, so your education should be continual.
Correct.
To make sure you're reaching those individuals that, hey, just so you know when you're voting, this is what the job requirements are for these people running for these different offices. So when they're campaigning, you have a basic concept of what you're going to talk about that they're going to do for you or can do for your community.
Hey, hold on. You're going to need to say that again, because you were spitting. You were just listening to Snooze by SZA. If you ain't on that SZA vibes, if we ain't going to be like Tony Montana and that white girl with the with the short hair that he used to roll with, don't DM me. If you're not on your Bonnie and Clyde ride or die, don't DM me. All right, I love that song, and a lot of men love Snooze by SZA for that exact reason. That's the ride or die vibes we need. But thank you for listening to A Different Day with Jah on 101.3 Row FM. We were having a great conversation on what is affectionately known as Row FM Plus. That is Row FM's Facebook live stream. So we're going to try to bring it to you now, because there were some gems dropped and I don't want y'all to miss it. First, the conversation that we're having currently is regarding voting. And no, we're not shouting out any government agencies or any specific senators or anything like that, whether negative or positive. We're talking about we're talking to those non-voters. You are members of the community as well, and your choice to not vote is your right as well. I think we forget that with the rights and the amendments and constitutions and stuff like that, that the rights that you're allowed, you're also allowed the right not to. You get what I'm saying? The same way you're allowed freedom of speech, you're allowed to not care about that. You can't encroach on mine though. You have the right to not carry guns as well. That's what those things allow. And I think sometimes we forget. So you have the right to vote. You have the right not to. That is your choice. And I think that the response that non-voters get sometimes, it's not working. And it won't work. We really need to listen to what they have to say and their reasons behind not voting, and then address those. Have the conversation for real. Too often, these people are being dismissed, which means you're dismissing an entire section of your own community. You could maybe sway them to get them in that line to vote. Maybe if you had the conversation. We're not trying to sway any votes on here at all. We just are having the conversation. So that's what we were talking about. And I had mentioned that I think one of the things that we need as a community, and remember, me, I'm more grassroots. So I'm not calling no agencies. I'm calling the community, because we could do this ourselves. We need to educate ourselves, and all of the information is accessible. It's readily available. We could do it ourselves, and we need to educate the masses on what voting is, what your rights are, and what the government should look like. That's the first step to me, because we need a total mindset shift in our community in order to make a difference. You can't just keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. That is the definition of insanity. So I think that first step should be to try to educate the masses. We need like workshops, civic workshops. And I'm talking about myself when I say this. We are undereducated about how the government works. Like, there are people contacting the senators about trees and stuff. Like, senators make laws, right? There's a legislative, an executive, and a judiciary. Those are three separate branches, and they have different jobs. They all come together, and they're supposed to balance the powers, but you shouldn't be calling them because WAPA went out. You get what I'm saying? What do you think about that, Neci? Oh, Neci's back.
Hey.
What do you think about that? Because you were dropping some gems just now. Go ahead and hit them with it.
No, I agree with you. I was just saying that I know that the information is there in terms of what the requirements are to run for public office. I think that there needs to be a continual education of that process, because every election season we have new individuals that are coming into the election pool and are eligible to vote, and we need to make sure that we're giving them that information so that when candidates are having discussions and so forth, they also understand what their platform is based off of. Because, like I was saying, a platform based off of who we peers, the only thing that they can actually do is allocate more funding or allocate, laws to help improve, but they're not the actual ones out there implementing those things. So we need to be giving, the right blame to the right people. Right. They do come out and support us when our voices are being, where we're crying out to the community. Most of our senators do come out and support us in those aspects, but that's not their primary function. And we got to do a better job of making sure people know who's responsible for what when things are happening in our community.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because again, we have to take accountability for ourselves. We are, again, undereducated. The fact that you would reach out to the wrong person means that we are undereducated. And the fact that you don't know is nothing to be ashamed about, because I'm speaking for myself. There's a lot I don't know about government and how it's run. And the government in the USVI runs differently from the one in the States. So if we educated ourselves on what it should look like, that would help. Because if we know what things should look like, then we wouldn't end off going half-cocked at people and departments and areas and agencies that have nothing to do with what we're angry about. Because there's a lot of people out there that they're basically guided missiles with no GPS. Your tracking is off. You have a lot of anger and heat behind you, but you don't know what to or where to attack because you have no GPS. You have no locator. You don't know what to be mad at or who to be mad at. You just got fire behind you. We can't keep running off half-cocked, not knowing. You know what I'm saying? We're in the information age. So I think we need to start with educating the masses, and we need to take accountability and look into that for ourselves. Because you could rent a space and have a workshop to educate on civics. You don't need to go to the government to ask for a class. You get what I'm saying? The internet is available. So you can make a presentation and teach people 1 day a week or 2 days a month or something. Because by the time the election come around, it's probably too late. Because if you're not educated, chances are you won't go look through all those candidates, look into how they voted, why they voted, where did their votes go, what change have they made, what have they done in the community. By then it's too late. This is a constant process that we have to go through. It's a constant learning process as things change. Because I think that's one of the reasons why somebody could run and tell you anything, because we're undereducated. If we were knowledgeable in these things, nobody couldn't sell you a dream. They couldn't tell you, hey, I bring in spaceships to St. Croix. You get what I'm saying? Because you'd be asked, how? Like, how are you doing that? How that don't work? But what you were saying?
Yeah. No, I said, yeah, I agree. I was saying, I agree under my breath.
Yeah, like you right now, when you're underinformed, they could sell you a dream. And please, public service announcement, please do not vote for no fish fry or fets this year. Please. The Virgin Islands is in a crucial state. We need people in there that are going to serve for real. And I did want to take this time to shout out sponsors of the station. Thank you, because you keep us going. Shout out Premier Baby Shop, Banco Popular, Lorraine Chicken Shack, Via, because you can't spell Via without the VI, 1F Louis Hospital, and My Lord Variety Store. They got them Vibes Cartel Grabbers in store now. Go check them out. And if you have a business that needs promotion, consider 101.3 Raw FM doing the promotion for you. We have great packages and great rates. We can get you in touch with the boss lady. She'll set you up. But back to the conversation. So the voting thing. Do you have any ideas how? Let's say somebody told you I ain't voting. Would you say anything to them, or you just let it go?
I mean, it depends. I think it depends on who's telling me, because I'm not in the government, nor am I seeking any public office.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have as much interest in their reasons why. But if they're saying it to me for a particular reason, maybe we're having a discussion and they just like, you know what, based on that, I'm not voting. I would ask why. I wouldn't try to persuade them to do it. But what I would also say is whether you vote or not, you're going to have the elected candidates based on those who did vote will be the ones, the top 7 for St. Croix and St. Thomas, and your top 1 for St. John will be getting in office. So whether you vote or not, we will have the 7 candidates selected for each legislation that we have an election system, electoral vote, I should say. So consider that as well, but also know that votes do change. We've seen, states that we've seen record-breaking change, or even here in the territory, I've seen where 10 votes make a difference in who got into the 7th position in a candidacy. So even that matters as well. But you have your reasons why, and it's valid and it's yours, and and I understand that. And there's people who believe in the process and the democracy, and they're going to vote regardless. So it's a two-sided spectrum where people will and people won't, and then you have to work on those in the middle who are undecided which way to go.
True. Adrena says we get too caught up on psychological operation and desensitize ourselves when there's not enough psychosocial manipulation. We have to do our own research based on the lives we want to live. Ooh. That was a lot of $5 SAT words. Adrena, break that down for us, please, in layman's terms.
You need the syllables and the origin of each word too. What do you need?
I need that they're broken down to only have half of a degree. Like break that down to me, please. I don't have a college degree. Well, I have one, but not the two. So I get half a degree. Go ahead and break that down for me because I want to understand what that means. I just don't right now. So as far as voting goes, again, these are our opinions, not of the radio station, and we're not trying to sway you. We're just trying to tell the community, hey, listen, we got to listen to each other. Don't just dismiss people. That's a percentage of the voting population. And every year, more people become eligible to vote. So instead of dismissing those people, let's hear what they have to say, maybe address some of their concerns. Then maybe we could meet in the middle. That's my same difference, different day spiel. All right. So go ahead and just listen. Like for me, I see people. Like I said, I think I said it off here. I think that there are people that are just exhausted. You know what I'm saying? You vote every 2 years, every 4 years, whatever, and it seems like things don't change. We understand. I get that. So I could understand why someone says who like it seems like things going down and I keep voting, but what's changing? What are they doing for what are you going to do for us is not a bad question to ask. You get what I'm saying? People want to know when you get in office, what are you going to do for the community? That's not a crazy question. That should be the number one question. And that's the reason why we need to get together as a community to decide who really is good for it, not who you're related to. We need to consider those things. Oh, God. Edwina says, PSYOP claims to influence the attitudes and perceptions of people, groups, and foreign. On that note, so we got more topics. Edwina racking my brain, man.
I was about to say, didn't come back and break it up between like an additional context too for you. I love her.
She gave me definitions. I know I gotta look up the definition. Man, let's just speak to me plainly.
Additional context.
Adrina, get a drink and then talk to me like we've been drinking. Hold up. So we gonna switch gears because we don't want to get in trouble. But you had something you wanted to discuss because we're in a hustle and grind culture, and it's important for us to do something to maintain our mental health. What is that, Neci?
Taking breaks.
So how would you get Jah to take a break?
First of all, I would block him.
That's your answer for everything. That's your problem right there.
I mean, you said how I would Jah. That's Jah. What do you mean? I would definitely have to block you. But no, I think it's important that we take breaks. As you guys know, I wasn't on the last few episodes the last couple of weeks. I was on vacation. Mm-hmm. It was my birthday. What I did for my birthday this year is I reduced my social media activity by 90%. So I don't know if you noticed, but I was barely on social media for about a week. I responded to maybe a couple of things, and I did like a 10-minute a day max kind of thing for myself because I really wanted to live and be in the experiences that I was in the moments I was creating. And I really wanted to make sure I'm being observant of that opportunity as well. And so I did that for about a week. And then I kind of, slowly re-engage myself back into my social media pages. But it was very refreshing for me to do that. And I think that people overlook just simple things as taking a break from if it's social media or from work or being a mom or whatever that may be, a couple hours a day and overnight. Sometimes you might not be able to travel, maybe even a staycation, like, hey, can you watch the kids for the weekend? I want to do a 2-day staycation somewhere on an island. I'm going to not have my phone. It's not going to be in use, but if it's an emergency, text me this code word and I'll know to answer because it's an emergency. You know what I mean? Like,
things like that, we need to detach ourselves because life has been lifing to a lot of people, and whether you take your break or not, it's either you're going to take it by choice, you're going to take it by force.
That's true.
Because when your body needs to recuperate, it needs to recuperate.
And it'll shut down on you.
It'll shut down, definitely.
No, I think that we've been taking blows collectively, pretty much since COVID happened. Really, I think the world changed, and there's a lot that we didn't assess. There was a period where I felt like the world needed a hug. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we realize how much the loss of millions of lives, how many families and stuff that affected. Even if you're like a member of my own family got sick, was on a ventilator for weeks, and then not working, losing money. People lost houses, lost marriages, and then we come out of it and we think we're okay. But now, inflation, rent high, gas high, food high. You know what I'm saying? And now issues with energy, stability, and stuff home. Like, we've been taking blows for a while. And I think it is important to take a break. And please don't think that we're saying that you have to go on a vacation to Tahiti or to the Maldives. Sometimes taking a break just looks like getting away from the noise. Leave your phone and go to the beach. Leave your phone and go to your favorite park or something. You know what I'm saying? If you have a family, take them with you. If they're a cause of the stress, you might gotta leave them home. But do something to get away from the noise. And it seems like you did that. Did you notice anything? Like when you got off social media, you took your time to actually be engaged while you were on your nationwide tour. What did you notice?
For me, what I did notice is how much it actually consumes you. I think sometimes we always feel, or for me, let me don't say for me, I felt like always felt like I was in control of my social media access. I don't typically post things for people like likes and shares and comments, and that's not my focus. But the first day when I did it, I felt there was so much urge to keep checking my social media. Even though I actually didn't do it, it was like, ooh, check your social media. You don't want to get too far behind. You don't miss up on too many tags, or because you have the page. And, I try to keep up on the comments and what people are saying. I was like, Tanisha, you're taking a break, and you need to really focus on that break. But the urge to do it was so much on the first day. So I really had to tune that out. It wasn't a hard struggle, but it was definitely very real. And I had to work on it. And I was good to do it, but I do it every so often. So it's not something not accustomed to, but it's still that urge is always it up. It's like a hit. That first day hit when you go through that withdrawal, whatever it is, like not having your caffeine in the morning or whatever that may be, you feel like, oh, I need to have my coffee. But it was refreshing. When I said that I had so many great experiences, even just driving, the things that you don't pay attention to when you're driving with other people or whatever, the conversations that we're having in real time, like those things was really impactful for me.
So how would you tell somebody like me who, is spends so much time on social media for reasons that what would you, how would I take a break if I can't just leave social media?
I would tell you to schedule your breaks, to be intentful. I would say that even the biggest shows have seasons, and they go on breaks to film new episodes and come back, but they go on breaks. So even your biggest artists, they tour, they make albums, but then they go on a break before they make another album, they go on another tour. Everyone takes breaks. And the intent is to be intentional with your time. Lost time can't be recuperated, but lost wages could always be made up if you have enough opportunity. Sometimes it's a matter of, opportunities versus wages. I know sometimes we have to make tough decisions. It's not always as easy to take a break because financial situations are very real. But I also know that I've seen life knock down a few people who focus their money over their health or vice versa. And then life knocked them down, and then they could only focus on their health because that's now their main priority. So whether we do it intentionally or unintentionally, we have to be aware that it will happen. You need to take breaks.
True. That's good advice. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. So whenever you're ready to take your break from SC, make sure you give us ample notice, when you're going to be offline. And then, whoever want to join me will take over the page in that time. Don't worry, I got you.
Okay.
But yeah, take your breaks because running on empty fumes doesn't benefit the car in the long run. So if we're going places, which we know we're going places, we want to make sure that we're working at the best capacity.
Facts. That's facts. Now, you know why I can't take a break right now. I would love to, but I'm all gas right now, no breaks. And why is that? That's because Same Difference has a live podcast show coming up on the 27th. And then we have a multi-generational town hall on September 28th. Right now, the tickets are 50 plus 50% off. So you get them for almost 75% off. Right now, for per person, $11 will get you through the door to either event. $18 and some change will get you into both events for both nights. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about Same Difference and Friends Too. We have the live podcast show with multiple panelists. We'll be talking about love, sex, dating, and relationships. We got myself, of course, Jah from the Same Difference podcast and A Different Day. We have Raven Scott, hopefully soon to be everybody's favorite mainlander. She'll be bringing her perspective to the show on the panel, and she's flying all the way from Michigan. We have Dan Moody, aka Rico Danger. He's flying from St. Thomas. The messy dude from Facebook, he'll be there with us, making jokes and talking his stuff. We have Marcus Norman, my brother and the host of Gentleman Style Podcast. He's flying from Virginia to do it. And if you watched the promo episode last night, you know he might be making a proposal. So there might be a proposal. Hey, it might inspire your man to propose. So go ahead and get in tickets. We get our co-worker now, DJ SI of the morning show, the Bush Scene, the morning show, right here on 101.3 Row FM. He'll be in the building as well. And on day 2, we have several people on day 2. The panelists consist of Positive Nelson. You know who that is, former senator. And what was he, former commissioner of agriculture?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
Saida Carter, current teacher, known and well-loved. Gary Norman, 30 years retired teacher, educator, and my personal mentor. Genevieve Whitaker, former USVI senator. Diane Prosper, she's a current independent senatorial candidate. We have Dese Maynard. He runs a decolonization tours. Very knowledgeable young man. He knows what he's talking about, and he loves aye. Come true. Again, $11 and change. People paying $11 to see Chris Brown. We talking about just $11. Go get you in the door. We have vendors consisting of Sahali Nova Bay bringing her soups through. Blitz Bites, ice cream and treats. A Hiroko Eats will be there. Sweet and Spicy Sensations with Chef Tanisha gonna be there. Easy. Suave, man. Chill. You know what, you love her. She gonna be there. 506 Cents and Company is also there. Approved vendors. All right. $11. Go to Eventbrite. Same Difference and Friends Too. Tomorrow is the last day. At 11:59 p.m., you will no longer be able to get those $11 and $18 tickets. All right, keep that in mind. And thank you, Lima Rowe, for letting me plug that.
We appreciate you, Lima.
Mwah. And of course, Neci's gonna be there. She's moderating both days. Come see the people's chat, man. Let's talk about this. You had sent me something. Top 3 dating questions. The top 3 dating questions. So,
yes, I did.
y'all, if you're dating, Or if you're in a relationship and you want to keep dating it, or you've never asked these questions, maybe you should. So number one, what is your vision for us? What do you think about that question?
I like the question. I think it's very intentful. I don't know if it's a good first day question because I really don't even know if I like you that much to even want to know what you have planned for me. But I think it's a very intentional question. If you both went on a couple dates and you feel like there's a strong connection, there's a good energy around you both, there seems like there's a real possibility that we can probably grow what's being developed right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good first question. But what I want to point out about these questions is these questions that Jah is talking about was from guys. They were asking questions that guys should ask. And I found that those questions are questions that women typically are the ones always asking men.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting to me that I guess the men are coming around to be like, we need to have questions of intent too, which I do appreciate. So that's what I think of that question. I think it's very intentional. I think that if a guy asking, it means that he has considered as a possible future that could involve me or the other person, whoever they're asking the question to. So I like the intention.
That's okay. Tanisha Doward says, not for dating. What do you mean? Like, that ain't a good question for dating? With me, I think that is a great question. It does let you know the other person's intentions. They would not even ask about a vision for us if it's one of those we just cooling. You know what I'm saying? We just vibing and see where we go. They'll never ask you that. Fellas, if a woman don't ask you questions like this, what's your vision for us? She don't like you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't see nothing with you past the close of the bedroom door. You get what I'm saying? Like, she can't possibly see anything for you, because one thing a woman gonna do, she gonna ask you these questions. While she playing with your chest here, she gonna ask you, like, what are we? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. And if somebody asks you that, the good thing about that question is, what is your vision for us? That means you have an idea already. The person asking the question has an idea also. So that's a good indicator. Question number 2, what roadblocks do you think will stop us from having an amazing relationship? I don't know how I feel about this question, because it's like, how likely is the person to be honest? You get what I'm saying? Or they might not. When you're in that honeymoon stage, you don't see no roadblocks. That's another thing.
And it's not just about being honest, it's about how self-aware are you of yourself. That you can take what you know your pros and your cons are and compare it to what you're seeing for me, and weigh the scale to see how we might have issues that could possibly hinder us. Because sometimes we know, sometimes some females, we know we ain't the problem. But there are times when the problem lies on both sides, or just sides. So I think it's a very self-reflective question that you have to be aware of yourself in order to really answer that question. I like that question a lot.
Okay. Tanisha Doward says, I feel like it come after the what are we question. At that point, you're more than dating or not. I don't know. I think dating has many interpretations based on the person. But once you're boyfriend and girlfriend, in my estimation, you're dating. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're dating till you're married. That's just my estimation.
Well, that's what she's saying. What are we? So it's like, are we dating? Are we in a relationship? You know, because there was a girl who said that 8 months into dating this guy, he asked her why she doesn't have a boyfriend, and it broke her heart. So she clearly assumed after, maybe whatever month 2, 3 that they're in a relationship, and clearly they weren't. So clarity on if you're actually dating each other only monogamously or whatever is important. Let me ask you, what are we? Because I don't really like that question per se, but getting clarity is important.
Okay. Disha says,
imagine getting asked why you don't have a girlfriend after we've been together for 8 months?
Hey, listen, you're not in a relationship till you have the relationship conversation. So she played herself.
Exactly.
She played herself. Are you in a place to allow someone into your life wholeheartedly? This is a Jack question. I inserted this one. Are you in a place to allow someone into your life wholeheartedly? The reason why I say that is because a lot of people date casually. They're not really open to anything else. So before we waste any time, I might be on a different beat than you. Let me know now.
Yeah, because let's not pretend that, you know, people have different priorities at different stages of their life. And you might meet the right person, but not at the right moment. And that is a very real thing that happens. But also you might meet the wrong person at your right opportune moment, and you have to be able to decipher what that is. There was this lady, and I forgot her name. I had it somewhere to tell you as well. She married a guy for 72 hours and divorced him. And then she wanted to be able to maintain her lifestyle that she had with him, because of course he was of money. So her intention was never to marry for love. It was to marry to be able to get his earnings after.
For 72 hours, you said?
72 hours after they got married, she filed for divorce.
You think these were my easy?
Just tell me you don't love me now. Just tell me you don't love me.
Hey, thank y'all for coming to another episode of A Different Day with Jah and Neci. I have a scripture that I'd like to read. Hopefully it helps you get through your week. But keep in mind, I'm not religious, but Michael Evelyn sent this to me, and I hope that it blesses somebody out there. So it is Exodus 14:14. The Lord shall fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. There will always be trials and tribulations in life, but God will carry you through every storm in your life and give you strength to make it. If God has been good to you, praise him. Amen. You got any words of motivation for the people, or we out?
Oh, I think that was I have a weekly motivation, but I like that message though.
That's what's up. All right, so y'all take that into the week with you. Don't forget, 8 to 10 a.m. tomorrow and through Friday, DJ and DJ SI gonna be live with the Bush Tea in the Morning Show. Tap in with them and Crucian Love and all my other co-workers here at 101.3 Raw FM. We'll see y'all next week, Sunday between 4 to 6 p.m. and every Sunday between 4 to 6 p.m. Get your tickets. If you're listening to this live right now, go ahead and share the live so other people can tap in with us and join the conversation. But this is Jah, and that is
Listen.
It's been a different day, and we're out. Peace.